Let's cross over now to speak to the Romanian Foreign Minister, Titus Corlatean. He is speaking to us live from London. Thank you very much, Minister, for speaking to us here on BBC World News. President Obama was in Estonia trying to calm fears that this crisis in Ukraine will spread to other neighbouring countries. As a neighbour of Ukraine, are you worried?
It's true that we also have a clear concern in Romania, and it's not only about Romania, about the fact that Russia's aggressive attitudes against Ukraine is related to a much more complex project related to the region, to create a ring of frozen conflicts against also the Republic of Moldova. We know the situation in Transnistria. It is related also to Georgia. It's something that is not a surprise for us. This is why, from the beginning, we stand for a firm attitude at the level of our European and Euro-Atlantic family against Russia's aggressive attitudes. It is important to underline all the time, politically speaking, but also to do concrete things that fundamental principles of the international law, the territorial integrity, the sovereignty of a state, the inviolability of the borders are to be respected and should be respected by all the actors, including by Russia.
Well, we're seeing that they're not being respected. You touched upon that area in Moldova, Transnistria. Of course, we've seen what's happened in Crimea. Do you think that NATO, the rest of the Western countries, are they doing enough? Do you want them to do more?
I think seeing the developments, the dramatic developments, and the fact that Russia continued to give a clear, strong military support to the pro-Russian separatists, I think we are obliged to do supplementary steps forward as concerns the sanctions. You do remember the last discussion during the European Council in Brussels, and the fact that we gave 1 week to Russia to really take the necessary measures to stop this aggressive attitude. Unless we will be in the position to adopt supplementary measures. It's the same position that must prevail at the level of the NATO allies, and this is why the summit, the next summit, will be so important, also related to this delicate file.
But if you've got Russia continuously refusing to admit that they are supporting rebels in Ukraine, how can you point the finger at them? How can you even begin getting into a discussion about asking them to stop if they're not even admitting that they're involved?
Well, I think that despite different discussions at the level of the international public opinion, the sanctions already adopted started to give some results. But what we need, honestly, it's real sanctions. And we had discussions during the past days among the foreign ministers in Milano. We will continue to discuss tomorrow and the day after tomorrow during the NATO summit. Really, if Russia will not adopt the correct attitude, we must discuss serious sanctions and attitudes on Russia.
Yeah, but the serious sanctions, you say, but we're so tied in terms of energy, we're so tied in terms of finances, the amount of Russian millions in London, for example. It seems that there is a reluctance to put any stronger, any more stringent sanctions on Moscow.
Yeah, it's not an easy subject. I do agree. There are economic interests. There are issues related to the energy security of a number of European member states. But in the same time, I want to underline the fact that such fundamental things, and I'm making the reference once again to the territorial integrity and the inviolability of the borders, are not subject of any negotiation. Otherwise, we'll put under very serious question mark all the legality, the international order, and what will be the consequences, extremely grave, serious consequences.
Okay, Titus Corlatean, thank you very much. Romania's Foreign Minister Titus Corlatean speaking to us from central London.